Let me suggest a different reason to start going long Bitcoin, which has nothing to do with foreign currencies, but a lot to do with policy in the United States. There's two bills floating around, but let's talk about the one that has the chance of actually getting passed in the US after November 8th, which is the midterm elections. It almost went to markup last week. It's called the Stablecoin Transparency Act. Now, this has nothing to do with Bitcoin, but it has a lot to do with the tone of regulation. And the reason I think it's interesting is they're trying to solve for the challenges that occurred in these collapses of stablecoins that were built around algorithms. 62 billion got erased. The regulators got upset about that, although the majority of that capital, because it was decentralized, was in other countries. But this act is very simple in nature, which is why it may pass. It's being supported by both parties. And the reason that's the case is that it makes effectively the US dollar the default payment system worldwide, which everybody can get behind. So if you have USDC or any other stablecoin that's backed by the dollar, and the test to get it regulated is very simple. You're going to get audited every 30 days. It has to be backed up 1-to-1 with a dollar or a treasury bill. All the treasury bills backing the coin or the token have to have a duration of less than 12 months. And if you're willing to go through that scrutiny, they'll issue you a license. Now, if that were to happen, and it may happen very quickly after November 8th if the House flips, and that's the anticipation is House flips, nobody knows what's going to happen in the Senate. That's a coin toss. But even though it has nothing to do with Bitcoin, that'll be the first regulation passed by US regulators. And I would argue you want to be long Bitcoin going into that outcome. So if you own stable coins, you're going to see a lot of interest in institutional capital coming into, let's say, USDC and Circle. Circle, by the way, took in $200 million from Fidelity and $200 million from BlackRock a few weeks ago in a Series F at a $9 billion valuation. They got $54 billion of coin. So end of the day, regulation comes, Bitcoin goes up. And I agree with your thesis that it's a good asset to have if you're in a country where your currency is collapsing. But if institutions smell policy, then you've got a real move up. And that's when you break out of this $19,000 to $22,000 trading range against the US dollar. I think it goes right through that very quickly.